In industrial manufacturing, there are places never meant for humans to linger. We call them confined spaces, enclosed areas with highly restricted entry and exit points. In a pharmaceutical plant, this could be the inside of a large chemical reactor, a towering storage silo, or even an underground effluent pit. These environments have one critical thing in common. They are explicitly not designed for continuous human occupancy. Stepping across that threshold means leaving a breathable, temperature-controlled world and entering a zone where your basic survival is no longer guaranteed by default. This document is the Confined Space Work Permit. It is the mandatory lifeline that must be established before a single worker is allowed to breach the entrance. The purpose of this permit is straightforward. It acts as a strict checkpoint to verify that every entry is controlled, officially authorized, and constantly monitored. It also serves as a legally binding checklist, confirming that an emergency rescue team and proper retrieval equipment are actively standing by. Every signature and checkbox on this form represents a meticulously engineered layer of defense, creating a system of survival where simple luck is never required. Here is what the permit demands before a job can begin. First, the operation requires formal authorization by safety personnel after a thorough initial inspection. Next, an authorized tester must analyze the atmosphere. They are verifying that oxygen levels sit at or above 19.5% and ensuring absolutely zero toxic or flammable gases. Then comes isolating the area using lockout-tagout protocols on all incoming energy lines. The crew must also equip specific personal protective gear. Depending on the space, this means full-body safety harnesses, self-contained breathing apparatus, and continuous two-way communication systems. Finally, we have the human element, the standby person or hole watcher. They control access and monitor the entrant, and they are strictly forbidden from crossing the entry plane themselves, even in an emergency. Skip even one of these prerequisites, and you instantly convert a controlled industrial operation into a fatal trap. This section shows how an entry operation physically unfolds. It starts with Step 1, the pre-entry physical check, immediately followed by Step 2, the initial gas testing to clear the airspace. Once the air is clear, we hit the final approval gate in Step 3. Here, documented evidence is reviewed and signed off by both the shift supervisor and the EHS officer before anyone gears up. Only then does the actual entry begin. The authorized worker is securely tethered to a retrieval system, maintaining constant contact with the standby person outside. While the worker is inside completing the task, the environment can still change. That is why atmospheric monitoring and ventilation must run continuously for the entire duration of the job. Once the job is done, the worker exits, all equipment is removed, the access hatch is secured, and the permit is officially closed out. The entire protective power of this process relies on completing these steps in this exact chronological order. There are no shortcuts. When that system fails, the consequences are immediate. In a confined space, heavy gases can settle into the lowest points, quietly pushing breathable oxygen out through the top without any visible warning. You are facing severe atmospheric threats, sudden oxygen depletion, the rapid buildup of toxic vapors, or highly explosive chemical mixtures. Beyond the air you breathe, there are physical dangers. Workers risk engulfment by loose granular materials, becoming trapped in narrow convergent walls, or suffering from severe heat stress due to poor ventilation. Because these specific killers are so often odorless, invisible, and completely silent, rigid procedural discipline is the only true defense you have. Look at the bottom of the permit. These protocols carry the weight of global law, enforced through strict international mandates. These procedures are demanded by OSHA, the Factories Act, and international ISO safety standards for occupational health. The Confined Space Work Permit guarantees that every single entry into a hazardous area is mathematically planned, legally authorized, and relentlessly supervised. Maintaining this discipline fulfills a role far more vital than a simple audit. It functions as the non-negotiable contract that ensures every worker returns home alive. If you want to continue mastering industrial safety and GMP protocols, hit the subscribe button below for more comprehensive training.